afternoon, everyone. Today's reading is going to be what to do when there's no closure in a love relationship or a very intimate relationship. We're going to be looking at what possibly went wrong and what they would like to say to you if they still had chance. And I've got some boards and I've got some pens here that hopefully work. So if you want to take your choice, you've got the purple ball, the blue one and the pink one. Old faithful balls have come out again. So if you want to take your choice, then we'll get going. Okay, pile number one. There's a feeling here of a natural connection, a connection where you both connect very easily. There's a feeling here of it being difficult for you both to be together because the Ceres I've taken more as a moon type of feeling here, and Chiron, in moon and Chiron in astrology normally I've noticed have given me relationships where not myself, but where people can't actually be together because there's some life circumstance there and they have to learn to mentally get around that. You know, I still want to be with this person, it's really painful, there's distance, there's somebody else involved, or there's just something there that makes it hard. It doesn't have to be third party at all. In fact, often in case it's not. It's something that makes it awkward to be together, and you have to grow internally to be able to continue the relationship. It's not like easy breezy falling in love when you're 14 and everything the world opens up for you. This is like there are things in your way. How do you want to act type of feeling here. You've got the Six of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So right from the beginning, I'm thinking there's possibility of distance here. There may be separation through college or different jobs to different parts of town, different countries possibly, because once I start getting the card out, the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Cups, especially in this pack with the man, what is he doing here? Look at that face with his back turning away and walking away. Why is he snarling? I do not know. Don't take that one too personally. I start thinking there's possibly movement that's pulling you each apart. But you have got the Nine of Cups here, the Wheel of Fortune. So that could possibly, could be anything like meeting somebody on a business trip or meeting somebody on holiday where you've both had this natural connection and then you're separated. At the top of this pile here, you've got the Nine of Pentacles. So I think that you possibly have been very independent in this connection in some way. It's felt good. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune doesn't have to be distance. It can be just like that karmic feel of running to somebody that whisks you away, just inside your head. You feel like you've met the one. The Two of Pentacles almost hones that down or pins it down into repetitive situations that don't have that initial verve but still continue. The contact's still there. You're still almost like it's like a tooth being held on. That piece of string you used to get as a kid and your brothers used to tie your tooth to the door. It's that feeling. I'm holding on, I'm trying to hold on, it's painful, I'm still here, and then this person eventually starts moving away. The Queen of Swords here at the bottom for you, and whether you're male or female, you will still come across as a queen in this card because there's male and female here. And the person asking for the reading is almost trying to hold on to that feeling that they got down here with Wheel of Fortune when the connection felt free and easy, fun, exciting. And it feels as if it's moving away. And the other character here, whether male or female, doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously it's a lion here, doesn't know what to do next. It's like blockages, difficulties, what can I do about it? You have got cards though of, the Prince of Cups for the hopes and fears, the Nine of Cups in the past. There's definitely a feeling here of you both having huge attraction, emotional attraction and admiration for each other. It's like meeting somebody. I'm trying to think of stories I've been told here. Meeting somebody on a business trip and not really expecting it, possibly both of you be having partners already. I'm not saying that has to be so. And it's just like being totally taken with them, not being able to get this person off your mind, because they are just, the connection is just immediate, and they're just easy to talk to, and it starts feeling extremely special very quick. With the Princess, I mean, these cards speak for themselves, don't they? Holding the heart close to his head, and just being, he's got his new puppy there. Nine of Cups is just basically being self-fulfilled. I did actually say self-pleasuring in the last reading. I don't actually mean that, but that may be part of it. But there is definitely here a feeling of being extremely smug. Your person's coming across here as the Ace of Pentacles with the heart in the middle. It's like trying really hard to get something started, but there's something to do with emotions, trying to practically, possibly the Two of Pentacles here, get closer to you, get things started, get things moving. And then it turns into the Prince of Pentacles at the end. You don't really want to be going from the Ace to the Prince of Pentacles. And I'm expecting here from the title as well that that's going to be so in a few of the readings, where it starts off with grand ideas, this person trying to get close to you, repetitive situations, could be like contact, like email, or meeting for small snippets of time, or passing each other in work, or seeing each other in the car and waving at each other. It just doesn't really get that feeling back that you had initially. And you have learned to be independent in this, and that must have been part of it, to sort of get yourself back and think, I've fallen for this person, it felt so good, but I can actually keep going on my own if I can't get close to them. There still feels like there's contact going on here with the Prince of Pentacles though. Still feels like there's something going on. And the back of the pile you had like Justice, which once again is trying to work out what to do practically when your heart is basically giving everything away. And the Star card there, there's an innocence about you that's hoping for more. Very much goes the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the pack, and the Nine of Cups. It's like somebody who gives very easily, who falls in love very easily, found this person and not really felt, you don't feel like this very often. So it's all, it's almost like overwhelming in some way. And all you're getting is, it's not blockage isn't the word I'm looking for. It's like repetitive situations that aren't quite enough. Don't take that the wrong way. It feels like the connection, and we've got lots of cards here that speak of an emotional connection. Sometimes you get cards that feel of a really strong sexual pull. That is possible, but to me this feels like, when you sit with somebody and you talk to them and it's so easy and they're attractive, and it's like, oh my God, didn't expect you to be that, to have got me in that way. And you've wanted more, and the situation hasn't allowed it, and there's a feeling of having to heal yourself. Why is that line up, Jesus Christ Superstar? With the lepers, something like that. Basically it's like do it yourself, that type of thing. There's also a feeling here, with that Chiron and you up here with the no, it feels like you've been in this situation before. There's a feeling here that you have, maybe part of your nature, you possibly do fall in love very easily, that you have been in this situation before, and you're almost saying to yourself, I'm not doing this again, it's just too painful, I'm not going there again. Your person doesn't really understand what they've done wrong, because they felt the connection too. It feels like you're both in the same boat, is what I'm saying. Sometimes you get spreads where one feels like they've done something a little bit dirty, or underhand, or lied in some way. This doesn't have that feeling. This feels like two people where there's something that is preventing you from expressing yourselves as totally as you would both like to. Because it starts off, you've got the Ace of Pentacles down to the Prince of Pentacles here. You've got big feelings for the Nine of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune at the beginning, and then it goes down to the Two of Pentacles here. God damn those little pentacles. It just is. It's like, can't get it going. There's sort of, I'm just about to say something about to regret here. Those plasticine dolls that you get, that when you push, the barbershop, you push the plasticine through and their hair comes out in little worms. It feels like that. A big energy being pushed into small tubes that are wriggling out. And it's like, that's not what I put in. I put in this. And you give me back the Two of Pentacles and the Prince of Pentacles. That is just like some spaghetti hairdo to you. You don't really want spaghetti hairdo. So your advice here as well is quite strong, to be honest. I will tell you what you've got so you don't think I'm in a really mean mood here and being foul. You've got the 9 of Swords, you've got the 2 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. I mean, that's painful. And it's sort of saying, you know, all these Swords cards is like, stop it. Cut it off. It may not be forever, but it's like be kind to yourself and let yourself rest. You've cried enough. 2 of Swords is you've been stuck in a situation, and then you've got the Justice and the Star card here. You know, you're always hoping there's going to be more. You're always, you know, I feel like I'm delivering horrendous news these last couple of weeks. I'm really trying not to, because I honestly believe that to fall in love, regardless of what happens, is everything. And I don't mean that in a romantic sense. It's just for you to, you know, for us all to feel it. I mean, what life do we live if we don't actually feel those bits that feel beautiful? And it sounds really corny because, you know, people say, oh, you're so childish. You know, but I honestly believe that. I think to feel open and to give, regardless of what happens, and it may be, you know, it's not easy at the time, but 10 years down the track, all the people that you've fallen for, you know, they've basically been there to make you feel love. And this person feels as if they've not come to hurt you. They've come, you know, they've come into this relationship with exactly the same intentions. So there's a feeling here of forgiveness as well, which probably the Star and Justice may actually speak of that. Right, I'm going to give you your little love letter from your person. It's quite a big love letter. When we met, the attraction was intense. You felt like home and you were easy to talk to and easy to connect with. I don't often meet people who make me feel like you do. I know I can't give you enough, and I've tried to think of many ways around this. Please know that it's been difficult for me too. I understand why you have to let me go. That's what I felt because of, I'll pick these up and tell you why again as I go away. Big connection at the beginning, some sense of healing, moving away, repetitive action that has been somehow toned down from the initial meeting, you learning to be independent, and this person feeling as if they're basically blocked in some way. Your advice was lots of swords here, so there's a feeling here of having to cut off. There's a feeling here of the Ceres and the Chiron here, of a contact that just never really runs smoothly, and that is part of the lesson. It's learning how to cope in those situations. This doesn't actually feel like there's no possibility of there being more. It just feels as if there can't be more at the moment. Right, pile number 1, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helps in some way, and thank you for joining me. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2. There's a strange feeling here. I don't often say this. I don't think I've ever said this. Yeah, I must have done. There's a feeling here you possibly could have shared a home or a flat, or there's some sort of established connection with this person, because you've got cards that make me think of some history here. You've got the 4 of Wands, which is some stability as well, and you're coming across as a 10 of Cups, which to me speaks that you could possibly have had an established relationship with this person. You're starting off initially with the Magician and the Temperance card here. So there's a feeling here of this person may be a bit of a feeling here of I don't mean this in a negative way, I just don't know which way to say it as yet. A trickster, somebody who is very good at talking the talk, somebody that has everybody on their side, somebody, you know, a bit like a Jack the Lad or a Ladette. I don't really know, Jackie Ladette. I don't know, change those as you can. There's just a feeling here of somebody that's very good at playing with life, and not in a negative way, just somebody who's quite confident, somebody who has got their fingers in many pies. Don't take that the wrong way. And the Temperance card here, it's still making me think that feeling of somebody who knows everybody, somebody who's down the I'm going to say down the pub, but there's lots of different things. In their group of friends, they're the type of person when they come into the room that everybody cheers. It's that sort of group feeling, team player type of, plays rugby, plays football, or plays hockey. That type of, man or woman, somebody who's a team person that lots of people know, and they go off on holidays. Before COVID, probably all the way around the world, did adventurous things, and was known by many, and a good fun time person. You may have known this person from the past and may not have got it together with them. So there could be some history here. The Six of Cups behind makes me think I don't know why there's a feeling here. You may know this person as part of a group. They may be part of your hockey group. They may be part of your social group. The Four of Cups here, maybe not much has happened. Not enough has happened. Just enough to keep this little frog alive. The Six of Cups is like two kids. Do you know what it makes me think of? Have you ever seen the film? I'm crap with this type of thing. Flashbacks Never Fall with Daniel Craig. It's an absolutely fantastic film. Not many people have heard about it, but there's this, when they have flashbacks when they were kids together, the guy who plays Daniel Craig when he was a kid, and they're singing Roxy Music, that fantastic song of Roxy Music, which I've forgotten, and the music is fed in at the end of the film, and it's so good. There's that feeling here of being buddies when you were either young, or there's just a connection here where you've possibly been friends before there's been bigger expectations, because you may have wanted more, they may have wanted more, and you've just given each other enough to sort of hint at it, but it hasn't really got started. This person does, make me think that they can make anything possible if they wanted to. So I don't know whether they were in a relationship already, so it may not have been possible. I don't know. The Prince of Pentacles here and the Four of Wands gives a feeling of stability. So there is a feeling here that this person may be already taken, that's coming. If this isn't part of your past relationships relationship where you were connected in some way and possibly shared a household, this person could be a big personality that may be already married. It doesn't have to be married, but there's a feeling here, the Four of Wands and the King of Wands here and the Magician. There's a possibility of I'm having feelings here of you being in a group of people, meeting on a Saturday night in a very sort of traditional setting, and you wanting to be by this person. That type of thing, but not letting anybody else know. You two know it, but nobody else knows. Because the Four of Wands is a household situation. It's a stable situation. The Prince of Pentacles as well, it's like small offerings. It's like, would you like a vol au vent? What is a vol au vent? Would you like a sausage and a bit of cheese? That type. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I take that back. I'm trying not to be so corny. Once again, the Ten of Cups, a family situation, so that could be part of it. The Five of Cups, they're coming across as defeated. This is a relationship that has been, it's like two people pushing past each other on a plane. When you sort of pushing back, and yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like nobody's looking. I'm just going to rub myself across you as I reach for my pineapple chunks, that type of thing. This is what it feels like. And it's repeated over and over again, where you feel the connection. It makes me think of a group situation where you two are looking into each other's eyes. Your eyes are saying everything, but what's coming out of your mouth is very mundane, so that everybody else can see that there isn't really much of a connection there. It is honestly, would you like a pack of Walker's crisps? It's that type of thing, but your eyes are saying something totally different, because it's that it hones down the Prince of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, a bit like pile number one, into very mundane, very lovely, very polite, very much providing something that somebody really wants at that moment. But the Six of Cups, is more behind this. There's like a yearning feel behind this, and then you're ending up with the King of Wands here at the end. So this person can do much more. They can give much more, but I feel that it feels, again, there's restriction, connection, you're not getting enough. That's where the closure possibly isn't, because you can't talk. It's like you couldn't pick up the phone and say, I could see you looking at me over the People eat at parties. No one invites me to parties. I don't know. What do people eat at parties? I don't know. But I haven't been to one for such a long time. Crikey, I can see you looking at me over the pineapple chunks. What you're going to do about it? And this person is like, I can do anything I want, but I can't do this. That type of feeling. Your advice here is difficult. You've got the 6 of discs. If this person is married with kids in some way, I need some more cards than that, because there's advice I can give you, but it seems extremely immoral. Let me put some more out. Because you want closure with this one, don't you? You don't actually want immoral advice from me. Who cares about immoral? Let me see. This person possibly is a very practical person, a very family orientated person in some way. You've got the Page of Discs, which is actually a picture of a baby here. You've got the 6 of Discs. Do you know what feeling I've got here? If this person's married, it makes me think that their relationship is one that fits. You know, one of those relationships where you might not be able to understand it, but in some way they do, as in the connection may not be the same as your connection, but it possibly is, just suits them just fine. It's like they each have a specific job and it works, and that's it, full stop. And they want to maintain that in some way. And knowing that, if this feels right in any way whatsoever, knowing that might help you to realise that you might be looking at the King of Wands, but what he's actually like, or she's actually like in a relationship, is more like I don't think that this person settles down. It makes me feel like they're cut off a bit. This person's accepted less than they actually need to function, and they feel trapped by it. This is quite a strong feeling, so I don't know if this feels right to anybody out there. I think that you're attracted to somebody who seems like a big personality. You're probably, I'm going to use the word charisma here, which is a fantastic word. You're probably attracted to their charisma in some way. You've got the King of Wands, you've got the Magician and the Temperance card. I mean, that is just fun, exciting adventure. You've got a situation at the back with the 6 of Cups and the 4 of Cups where you really, really connect, but it's not enough. And I'm wondering whether, with the 4 of Wands here making me think stability, you coming across as the 10 of Cups here, where there's a family situation that is keeping you apart in some way. What you're getting is the Prince of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles, which is making me try really hard to think of party food, where you're in some very traditional situation. Everybody's smiling, everybody's dressed up, and you two are looking at each other thinking, I want you, and all you're getting is sausage rolls. And then the advice over here is, initially, it almost made me go towards do it anyway, which was immoral advice, so I stopped myself. Not that I really care that much about immoral advice, because it's up to you totally to decide where and what you want out of your life, which I think is one of the most important things, not to take it from anybody else. But you've got here 2 cards that follow that make me think that this person has, because they're coming across here as the 5 of Swords. You've got this defensive card and you've got this very practical card. So this person, I'm guessing, has a lot of fire in them, or fire in there somewhere, and has accepted their fate, as in they have the family, they have the established situation, and they've just basically almost cut off a little bit for what they've already got. And it's just so. it's one of those spreads that are just so from somebody who wanted more and then has just cut off a little bit and accepted their fate and accepted stability and accepted, they don't mean this negatively, but less than they possibly. It makes me think of somebody with fire in them, perhaps even a fire moon, where they don't really settle very easily, and they're possibly looking for more, and they've accepted what they've got for stability's sake. You know, we can't judge, because so oftentimes, you know, you can go, most of you, I mean, I won't name names. I have a brother he was always really fiery when he was younger, lots of adventure, like lots of girlfriends, but he spent a period of time in a tower block in London, and was it London or Manchester? I can't remember. I can remember going in and staying with him, and it was dismal, and he was sad because he's got cancer in there and he wanted that family situation. I'm not saying at all this has ended like my brother's situation. So he really respects that, wrong word, that family life, but there's still that King of Wands in him. Still that King of Wands, which is his best bit about him. This speaks of your person. And the closure for you is, I don't think he's going to do anything about it, because for that reason that he feels that he doesn't want to go back to living on his own in a flat, in some part of the world where he felt as if he was very lonely, or she felt like she was very lonely at one time. They want the stability, and they're prepared to sacrifice part of their fire for that ability to feel like they are content, is the word here. Let me just write a letter to you from them. Okay, when I see you, I know your thoughts, and I feel like I have let you down on myself. I know that you are similar. I know that we are similar, and our life could be something else. If we were together, all I can offer is my friendship, as I fear the loss of my stability. I can't read my own writing. The mundane, repetitive situations make me tense and claustrophobic. I wish we didn't connect so well. It would be less painful. So that is possibly what I would guess that they would say to you. So your closure is knowing that, or they feel that they want to be with you, but they've almost accepted their fate, to be honest, on that one. And to know that there's going to be no movement there. And I'm wondering whether it is possible pain through life circumstances when they were younger, where they felt as if they were alone in some way. And so they've taken stability over excitement and connection, I would guess there. I don't know, but thank you for spending time with me. I hope that makes sense. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. This has a feeling of somebody where you possibly could have shared a work situation or a connection in work, or some very practical situation where I'm guessing here, through no fault of either of your fault, they've moved away. I tell you why I'm saying that. It doesn't have to be a work situation, but you've got Pentacle cards down here for you. You've got a lot of reflection going on. This Hierophant could possibly be a more traditional situation, like a marriage possibly, or it could even be like religious ideals, or it could be different religious ideals, or different Hierophant tradition. Structure, heartbreak, the middleman. It could very much be that there's some sort of ideal that is firmly set in either one of your minds doesn't suit the other person. And I'm thinking like religion. It could be, it doesn't have to be that. It could be almost like an interfering, father-in-law, mother-in-law, that type of feeling, because there's heartbreak here. I know somebody I work with whose marriage, have I got the camera switched on? Yeah. Whose marriage failed through different stories that were going from her husband to the mother-in-law, and it just basically, it went downhill. There's that type of feeling of something very traditional possibly causing upset here. Let me keep going. I don't know as yet, to be honest. The Two of Swords, it feels very much like a relationship that's not there now, because the Two of Swords is separation. The Seven of Wands here, you know, this card particularly is separation. The Seven of Wands here is, I don't get this card. I have to be totally honest, I never get this card. I don't know what the illustration actually means. One lady turned and said, well, he's a paratrooper, so that's fine. So if his person's a paratrooper, I don't know. Let me just whiffed my way through these at the moment. Separation, this person is not with you, and the Eight of Cups with the Hierophant cards is making me think here, cards is making me think that they have moved away from a traditional setting, a traditional situation. It may be just ideals, traditional ideals, or spiritual ideals, or interfering somebody else in the relationship, and they've moved. What this has left you with, I'm guessing, no contact, because or very, very small contact. The Hangman, your person's gone into themselves. They're thinking about it, but they're not doing anything. And this is leaving you with the Two of Wands, the Nine of Wands, which is basically a lot of thinking and a lot of crying, a lot of upset, no movement whatsoever. Just, it's like stalemate, but there's still emotion there. It still feels like you're on your own and it's hurting. The Eight of Pentacles down here, again, you could still be trying to work on this situation. You could be trying to almost put it together, or it could just be with the Hierophant twice that you are still in that work situation where your person you may not be able to get as close to them as you actually liked, or as you have done in the past. The Prince of Pentacles here, again, is making me think work. The Prince of Pentacles is a small card to have at the end of this spread, where you possibly are continuing to, you know, with the Eight of Pentacles, you may have a lot of earth in you, and yeah, it's like you're continuing to be, this is like supposed to be like some sort of closure and advice, but it feels to me here that you are doing it already without me having to, you know, suggest anything or read these cards over here, as if you've just knuckled down, you're getting on with it, you're doing the practical thing. You may have earth in you. It feels like you've spent your time crying, you've spent your time wondering, and you're bored of it. I've had enough. And the Seven of Wands is often like batting people back in some way. With this card here, I don't know what on earth that is. It's like throwing yourself into a situation, but with some sort of feeling of, like a safety net type of feeling here. So I could possibly interpret that as you haven't self-sabotaged yourself in some way. You know, you've been through the process of in some way grieving about this, you know, but you're still doing what I would guess a very practical approach to healing from this situation, and you're still at it. It's still a case of, you know, I can look after myself, I can carry on, because you started with a Hierophant, you end with a Hierophant. It's like, I've decided to be solid in this situation and I'm going to get through it. You're coming across as strong in this. I'm not getting much from who you've been with or what the situation is. It feels like this whole spread is all about you and the way that you've coped with this already. And it's really funny that at the end of this, you know, for advice on how to basically bring closure to this, you've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles again. So it's something to do with practical situations where you've both actually possibly already dealt with this. You've got a lot of work cards here. This is what I'm thinking in the back of my head, and this won't apply to anybody, if anybody, or anybody, everybody that I'm talking about here. There's a feeling here of two people that possibly have met in a work situation where there's a draw there, This person may have moved away. You may not have even expressed your feelings that much, because the Hierophant card is not the most passionate card I would expect in the past, and there's movement away. So you might have just fallen for somebody, and you may not have even confessed it, or vice versa. And what it's causing you is, I'm guessing, a lot of self-reflection. They've moved away from the situation, that you may be separated in some way. It's not moving forward. You're still just trying to carry on, as in not think about it. Just, this wasn't meant to be, that type of attitude. They're left thinking about you and wondering, as if they didn't really know whether you were interested or not, and it hurts. And so you've almost reverted back to the Hierophant again, as in the way that you deal with this already is very structured, very controlled, very much getting up every morning, doing it, and trying not to be emotional. You possibly can work with this person. I mean, the Three of Discs at the end, it's two practical people, because you've got the Knight of Discs, the Queen of Discs, Three of Discs there. So to me, it feels like a work situation. It doesn't. Let me put some more out. This pile number 3 feels like silent partners. It feels like not that much has been expressed, or not enough has been expressed. This doesn't feel like two people that have slept together or had extremely passionate conversations about something. This feels like two people that have just had a strong pull towards each other and then moved away. And there's been lots of thinking from both sides, as in, what did they really feel? It feels like lack of expression of feelings in this one, to be honest, where you're both wondering. There's lots of Pentacle cards, finishes in Pentacles, and the Hierophant, 2 Pentacle cards at the end, and the Hierophant. You've got moving away at the beginning with the Hierophant, and you've got separation, you've got internal thoughts all the way through this. At the bottom of the pile here, you've got you coming across as the 8 of Pentacles again, which is worky work. And then you've got your advice is Pentacles. And I put these cards down here for what was really going on between the pair of you. You've got the Knight of Swords, the King of Swords, here, which is very sort of, it could be like a boss figure, but it's somebody who keeps it quite impersonal. You've got the Hermit card here. Of a lot of the lesson here was reflecting on what you want, how you actually, I'm guessing here, express what you want. And then this person has moved away before you've even had a chance to really assert that or to experience that. And it's caused you upset. So that's what I'm guessing here. This is not what I expected, to be honest. With pile number 3, the closure is in to know that you're both actually thinking the same. Like, why didn't we put more into that? Why didn't I express myself? But with the Hierophant twice as well, all these Pentacle cards, it feels like quite a restricted situation, where you can't actually go in and sort of declare undying love very easily without getting put away. It honestly could possibly be somebody in a work or a very practical situation. And I get the feeling here, it doesn't have to be they're moved away because the relationship hasn't worked. It makes me feel here that there's a movement, a natural movement. I don't know if that feels right. But there are so many practical and internal cards together. There's a lot of wondering here. What could have been? Let me write your letter here. All the cards go haywire. I want to start writing, so I've got to look at them now. Your letter would be, I felt the connection and knew it was almost impossible to do anything with it. The timing sucked, and I'm just left here wondering if you felt the same anyway. I can see you carrying on unaffected, and I wonder whether it was all in my mind, and I assume that it's how things will have to be, or will have to lie for now. So that is quite a practical, difficult situation, which I'm guessing things were unexpressed and you have separated, and I'm guessing there's regret there. There's regret about possibly not expressing more, which I always think is really brave when people in those situations, they actually just do it, and just, you know, at least there's some sort of closure there. Your closure, and I'm supposed to be giving you closure, there isn't much closure in that third one, to be honest. That one is probably, out of all three, the one that feels like you're both wondering what on earth was going on. As in, you didn't express what you were truly feeling in that one. But I think there's acceptance of it not being the correct timing. To be honest, that's what I got. Anyway, pile number 3. I hope that helps in some way. Possibly not answering the question that it was meant to. Because it doesn't answer the question to me, that one either. What to do when there's no closure in love? And that just tells me there was no closure in that one. I suppose the only thing you can do is possibly accept that they have accepted it themselves. And there wasn't a feeling that they were going to do much about it. It was just a case of there were too many internal cards and too many practical cards of somebody who's just basically getting on with it and thinking that they've lost that race. Okay, pile number 3. Thank you for watching. I'm going to leave you now. Bye.